What is going on? Welcome to week 4 of college football. I'm excited. We're back with Raphael from my bookie. We had one hell of a time last Saturday, and he's ready to hit us with all the odds, all the hot takes. I'm pumped for this thing. It's a huge just sports Saturday here. We got horse racing, soccer, UFC later on tonight. Obviously, college football. That's why we're here. But Raphael, thank you so much for joining us back-to-back weeks.
Yeah, it's been fun. I had a really good time with you guys last night. Hopefully, I can continue doing these on Saturdays, either time prohibiting. I mean, I can't believe in a blink of an eye, I have NHL, NBA, and college basketball right behind my back, and let's throw in some baseball playoffs. And I thought we were going to do a WNBA playoff preview since they keep packing the action tomorrow. But if you want to talk college football, I guess we'll talk college football.
I know we got to do better. I apologize. But man, let's just dive into it. I've got to start with just a little recap here. Our boys, App State, beat Marshall by 1 point. The spread was set at plus 7 or -7 for App, and we almost had it. Nate Noel comes, he gets his open shot going to the end zone and does the smart football thing, takes the slide instead of going score. But that would have hit us over the plus or the -7. And I know as App fans, we were just happy to get a win. But also betting on them, we're like, damn, maybe if you just trickled in there. How did you see the books move during this game? Was there any kind of flow with it?
We had a lot of herd money, so we were with you guys. Like, no, what are you doing? Because everyone jumped on the herd for what they did last week, blowing a double-digit lead, and so everyone bounced back and say, hey, they're going to play much better, and this one we'll take the plus points on that one. So that was a big loss for us. So we were big App State fans on that one. So when he did the baseball slide, we were pretty. I don't want to say angry because we cleaned up last Saturday and Sunday in the NFL. So we're still playing with house money for the first so far in football. But it would have been nice to start off the college football week with a nice bucket full of cash.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Fitz, did you stay up and watch the game all the way through?
Yeah, I did. A little closer than I would have liked. I wanted to see us open it up, but again, after just losing in a heartbreak to Miami, it was nice to. It was kind of an emotional win. It was like, okay, win in dramatic fashion. It is a big game. I mean, Marshall, give them credit; they're a good team, and App State on top, so you can't complain.
Exactly. And then last night's action was pretty wild as well. Fresno State about messes around and lose to UNLV, and I think you guys had them at, I think Fresno State was -17 maybe at one point. Maybe not that large, but it was a pretty large, and all of a sudden UNLV leads this entire game.
The Fresno State was 30-point favorites, and I watching UNLV play against Iowa State last week was horrendously bad, and their offense came into this, I think, only scoring 13 points in 2 games. The Rebels, so I thought Fresno State was gonna mop them up, even though I know they had a big emotional win against UCLA. They should have beat Oregon, but I thought they were gonna come in and want to just show the Friday college football world, because let's face it, that was the only pretty much game on TV at that time. I mean, if you were watching Liberty and Syracuse, but you could have switched over and see a team that beat UCLA and could have beaten Oregon. I thought they were going to take care of business, and they didn't. So that just proves the fact that some teams look at their schedule and think they're just going to show up, put their helmet on, and get the W. Where UNLV was up 14-0 in a blink of an eye.
Exactly, yeah. And I've always been a Tate Martell fan, which you can judge me for that later on. But I was just excited to see him. I was like, oh man, he's rolling. He's got UNLV rolling. But then I was thinking, oh shit, like these guys are supposed to be huge dogs. I'm sure there's a couple places taking some hits here.
Yeah, because I told a lot of people yesterday, I think Fresno could be the best college football team in the state of California as of right now. So I had to take a step backwards on that one just because of how they start. I mean, I know they got the W, but mentally that's not a W. I mean, it just shows to me that they weren't prepared all week in practice. They weren't prepared for the game. So that was a big L for me, even though they got the W.
Yeah, I totally agree. Any other action from the past 2 nights, or really, past 2 nights that you want to talk about before we hop into our picks here?
I would say that one. I mean, we did get some action in the Liberty Syracuse game because of the running attack that Liberty has from their dual quarterback and how they can run the ball. That was pretty much a fun game. Wake Forest. I thought Virginia was going to be able to put some points on the board. I can't believe that total was 70.
Yeah.
So that one was it didn't even come close to going over. But man, Wake Forest, a couple years ago they had 10 wins, and I think they're going to have double-digit wins again this year. I was really, really impressed with the Demon Deacons last night against Virginia. So it was an impressive game. It was some good Friday football last night. So I have to admit that was some good fun. Better than Thursday football. Let's face it. Who wanted to watch Carolina and Houston? I still don't know who the Houston Texans quarterback. I think he delivered my pizza a couple weeks ago, but yeah, I still don't know who that was. But and I mean, granted, we had a good Thursday college football game. But man, the NFL Thursday game sometimes can be a complete disaster.
Exactly. And when I saw it on the schedule, I was like, man, like they did not think this through, I don't think. And then the play on the field obviously showed. Davis Mills, can we talk about his neck though? The thing's got like a 4-foot neck. It's
I think E.T.'s his dad.
Yeah. Golly. Well, hey,
he doesn't watch the show, does he? I hope he doesn't watch the show.
I hope I hope he does, and we get him on. He can come defend himself. But sorry to the Mills clan. Sorry for Stanford football. Sorry for everybody. Let's just move into this week's picks, and we've got to start. And I don't know if my bookie had this. I didn't find it yesterday. You guys maybe have added it later on, but North Carolina, us being based in North Carolina, we had to give some love to the HBCUs here. NC Central going against NC A&T. Central, from what I found online, is a 12-point favorite. Over/under set about 54.5, depending on the books. A&T is close to my heart. We had Tariq Cohen come from Bunn, where I coach at. Obviously, Chicago Bear now. A&T has been up on the rise throughout the years. Central been putting in work this season, though. Who are we taking here?
If we're playing the Battle of the Bands, I'm probably taking Central. But if we're talking about football, I'd probably take the plus points. I think it was a little bit over adjusted on that one. We're probably going to put that spread up probably sometime this morning. I was doing some other things this morning. Normally I send an email, say, hey, don't forget to add these added games sometime today, but I lost track of time. But yeah, I think it's just way too many points.
That's fair.
Yeah, all I know is A&T I don't think they've got a win this season. Mm-hmm. And NC Central looks like a pretty decent team, obviously a smaller school, but, pretty competitive. So I think NC Central, I don't know if I'm touching this game, but NC Central for sure.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm ready to touch it either. I haven't watched either team play this season. Just kind of been watching, what they've done previously in highlights and stuff. I've got to go A&T though, or AT&T. I got to go A&T. Give me the
my
Aggies.
Girl, by the way.
The AT&T girl.
Yeah, that's wife.
I've met her in person, and she's about the same size as Sylvester Stallone. She's very, very tiny.
Oh wow,
Sylvester Stallone.
He's a midget.
Yeah, well, I thought you were talking like bodybuilding. I was like, oh, she's jacked, huh? And then no. You're talking about height. Height-wise. Staying in the state of North Carolina here, we got UNC going against Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech had one hell of a game against Clemson, kept it within a couple inches of winning it. UNC is a 12.5-point favorite, over/under set 63.5.
Yeah, I was really shocked on how well GT played last week. Now, did they shoot their wad and going to be complacent today? I mean, because let's face it, North Carolina needs not just wins, they need style wins for how they started the season. I have a feeling if they get hot on offense and throwing the ball around to the tight ends and wide receivers early, I think that opens up the running game in the second half. Early, my gut was saying GT. But I just think now that the week has come by, I think the money has balanced itself off as bettors are coming in. And most of the wise guy action now is on North Carolina. I took some GT money early, but I think the wise guys have probably said, you know what, this is a number we're going to probably want to get right now. I'm going to take the Tar Heels.
Yeah. I don't trust the Tar Heels with 12 points there. I think the Tar Heels are going to win, but it's going to be close. I can never trust I can't trust Chapel Hill. I really can't. And it's at Georgia Tech. So I would take Georgia Tech to cover, but Tar Heels are going to win.
Yeah, I don't know if I trust them cover either. You just never know what UNC team you're going to get. But Raphael, you're absolutely right. They're starting to heat up. They're starting to click. They had a lot of young first, second year guys in that offense, and now all of a sudden, they start getting that timing down, that rhythm down. And I'm worried about Georgia Tech shooting their wad a little bit early against Clemson. Give me UNC here.
the favorite has covered, I think, 4 straight, and I think we're going to see some points on this one. I think if you're a North Carolina fan, you maybe want to look at the total and move to 2 points over. I think the last 10 meetings, I think 8 of them have gone over the total. You might kind of look at that. If you're like Georgia Tech, you're definitely going to need this game to stay under because I don't think they can go toe-to-toe on offense with UNC.
No, I don't think so. Not with their offense. But, hey, give me that hammer. Let's hammer down that over. I'm with you, Raphael. Staying within state again, NC State going against Clemson. Clemson, we talked about this last Saturday. They have not looked good this season. They are not the Clemson that we are accustomed to. NC State, hold on. Maybe they're contenders, maybe not. 47.5 is the over-under. Clemson -10 favorite.
As my boy Kevin Nash, I used to see all the time when I worked at MGM and Scott Hall, and when they used to wear the red NWO T-shirts. Give me the Wolfpack plus the points on this one. Woo! I like NC State. I'm not sold on this Clemson offense whatsoever. Now, is this the thing that says how good Trevor Lawrence was a QB, a college QB, or was this just how bad the Clemson offense and their offensive line, since they lost a lot of people on the line the last couple of years? I like NC State. I think Clemson does win this game, don't get me wrong, but I'll take the plus points on this one. I'm not sold on the Clemson Tigers offense. Give me the Wolfpack.
Yeah, so Clemson, it's really interesting. Like defensively, they look fine, and they've only given up 18 points to. I'm looking at Georgia and Georgia Tech in those opponents. They give up 10 to Georgia, 8 to Georgia Tech, but they've only put up 17. So there's a lot of questions around that. So I look at the over-under points, and I'd probably take the under because Clemson's going to keep NC State out of the end zone, but they're also not going to put up points on their end. So I think it could be close. It's at NC State. I'm tempted to take the Wolfpack. About 4 years ago, I think it's 2017, they struggled a little bit with NC State. NC State was in the top 25, though. I think it's going to be a good game. You know what? Give me the Wolfpack. Give me the Wolfpack. I'm taking
I would probably stick with the under on this one. I mean, let's face it. I mean, NC State scored 90 points in 2 of their games, but that was against Furman and USF. I don't think they're going to put up that kind of a number. When they did play the Cowbells, I think they only put up, 10 or something like that. So I think you're right on that under. I think it's going to be a very, very, very defensive game.
Yeah, I think you're right. 47 is that sweet spot for me. Raphael, this might be a bad strategy. You can tell me not. But anything that's under 47, I'm more tempted to take the under. And then anything, or take the over on it. Just because I feel like more points are going to get scored than just 47. And that kind of seems to be my sweet spot. This game, I'm with you guys. I think I'm going to take the under here as well. Both teams just can't score. I'm with you. Give me the NWO shirt. It's too sweet out here, baby. Give me the Wolfpack.
Yeah, I'm banking on the Raleigh fans. I'm banking on this crowd. That's the key.
That's scary now that you're saying that. All right. Boston College staying with the ACC here in the Missouri Tigers. Coach Drinkwitz out there. We're always rooting for him in Missouri out there. Missouri's at only a 1.5 point favorite. Over-under set at 58. Both these teams, I think they're 2-1 right now. Both could make a little run here.
I'm all over BC. What Missouri said over the week, saying why did they have to travel to the UMass area that has nothing to do with them. They don't do any recruiting out there. Pretty much bashing Boston College. Boston College is going to run wild all over that Missouri defense. I'm all over BC. They put up way too much bullet material all week long with the Missouri head coach shooting his yap, saying pretty much making fun of Boston College. I think BC run wild. I would not be shocked if this game is really, really ugly.
Yeah, I just realized. So I've called Louisville App State North for the past few years, ever since I got Coach Satterfield. But I guess Missouri is now App State West. So I'm going to take Drinkwitz and Drinkwitz. I don't even know how to say his name. But
Drinkwitz.
Give me Drinkwitz, App State West, Mizzou. That's who I got.
See, I didn't know about the bulletin board. So I was going to go all Mizzou here. But when you just bash Boston, you can't do that, Boston. They're too wicked good up there. Give me the Boston College Eagles. I think they get it done.
Yeah, I would agree. I thought Missouri would have came in the way they've been playing, especially on defense. But I'm sorry, when you shoot bulletin material, and I'm fun, not just making fun of the school, but making fun of the state that you play in, and you pretty much say we don't like recruiting over there, we don't get good players over there. That's just shooting your mouth.
Exactly. And I think Missouri's going to need this win because the rest of the schedule is looking a little daunting for them. Arkansas Razorbacks, Texas A&M. Arkansas coming off one hell of a game against Texas. Then they kind of had a letdown last week, just not being able to score. Their offense is it's a roller coaster. It's like Jameis Winston. It's up and down. Texas A&M has been blowing out teams pretty much. Over under set at 46.5. A&M 5.5 favorite. 5.5.
Yeah, someone's walking away with their first L this season. I've been eating crow on Arkansas. I knew they were going to be a much improved team this year. I didn't think they were going to be this good. Not only are they 3-0, but they're 3-0 against the spread. If they can run the ball, then I think it's going to be a really, really close game. But if they can't, and Texas A&M's offense is providing better field position and more possessions, then I think they might blow this game out. I want to say take Texas A&M, but again, I'm tired of eating crow with Arkansas. This one's going to be close. I'm going to say I'm not a money line bettor, never have been. Well, first of all, we're going to be Arkansas fans. The books are, because I think Texas A&M money is continue to come in. Just because, let's face it, people think they have the better athletes than Arkansas when it comes to football. But I like Arkansas at home. They're 4-0. They're 4-0 against the spread. And if I was a money line bettor, I'm eating some pig tonight.
Yeah, and so Texas A&M, they struggled against Colorado. That they only beat Colorado 10-7. So I think people are getting a little too hyped for Texas A&M. I don't know if they've had a true test. Whereas Arkansas, taking down Texas, I like Arkansas in this. They're the home team. It's one of those trap matchups where it's a 16 seed versus 7 seed, or overall. So I'm going to take Arkansas. I think that this is definitely, it's not even an upset pick. I don't think it's just, it looks like it in the books, but I think Arkansas is the better team.
Yeah, I think I'm with you guys. I think I might say, woo, pigs. Give me Razorbacks. Give me Arkansas. I think they get it done. You talked about Colorado matchup. I totally forgot about that. They got exposed right there, and I don't think Jimbo Fisher has fixed those issues yet. West Virginia Mountaineers going against Oklahoma and the Boomer Sooners. West Virginia coming off the Virginia Tech game with a huge upset, burning couches left and right in Morgantown. Oklahoma, they've been doing what they've been doing. Over-under set at 56 points. Oklahoma -17.
I'm all about the plus points. I'm still not 100% sold on Oklahoma this year. That's a big number. If this was 14, then I would maybe look at Oklahoma. But wow, 17 in that matchup, they would do two teams that know each other pretty well. I just way too high. Oklahoma does win this game. I would be totally shocked if the Mountaineers win this one. But boy, give me the plus points on this one.
Yeah, I would take the points on this one as well. I mean, same reasons. I'm not sold on Oklahoma. It's one of those games that Oklahoma's the 4 right now. With Clemson falling apart, it's Oklahoma's the lose as far as getting in the playoffs. And I think they could lose to someone like West Virginia. Like I could totally see West Virginia spoiling. If I'm being honest, though, I'm not bold enough to make that pick. But I'll take Oklahoma, and it's going to be a good game. So it's definitely worth watching.
Yeah, I like it too. I think you're absolutely right. It's Oklahoma's playoff spot to lose, and I think this is one of the games where it's going to lose in the spot. Just watch the Goodfellas. I think when Joe Pesci's character is about to get made to be a member of the family, he walks in, he's got a suit on, bang! Paulie and the family take him out. West Virginia's Paulie and the family. Oklahoma Sooners get one to the dome. They're out of the playoff spot.
Oklahoma's getting ready to get made. They shot him in the face so he couldn't have an open casket at the funeral.
That's right.
That's so mean.
Penn State, Villanova Wildcats, both teams are undefeated. Over-under set at 54.5. Penn State -31.5. Now, the reason I want to talk about this is because both teams are undefeated. Villanova fans think they're getting slept on hard here. They think they got a chance here. What do you say?
they got a chance to cover. They don't have a chance to win. This game reminds me of what we saw last night with UNLV and Fresno State. Granted, Villanova is not UNLV coming in this game 0-3. But what does Penn State really have be encouraged is when they have some big games coming up in conference play. So I would not be shocked. Maybe take Villanova first half plus the points and maybe take them with the game, because I think Penn State probably comes up a little soft. They just looked at their schedule. They could care less who Villanova has played. They probably don't even know Villanova's undefeated. They're just saying, oh, if we're playing college basketball, Villanova will probably be a 30-point favorite over us. But we're playing in football. I would say look at that Villanova on this one, plus the points first half and the game, because I just don't see Penn State being so hyped up against this game when they know they have some big conference play coming up. This might be one of those ones that they just think, hey, we'll put our pads on and we're actually going to get a W.
Yeah, I like that take. What's the first half set at? Do you have that in front of you?
I don't have. Hold on, let me see. Too many games today. God, I hate football. Why can't it be like playoffs? We're just 5 of them. Looks like 18. Maybe there's some 19s out there.
Okay.
Yeah, I would, like I said, but I still think it's worth a shot to play both sides first half and the game itself. Because what does Penn State really have to do with this one? They're just hoping that no one gets hurt in this game.
Yeah.
So I was looking at Villanova. I didn't realize they were undefeated, and they have 0 turnovers on offense this season. So that's something to highlight. And then through 3 games, their defense has they got double-digit takeaways through 3 games. They're at either 10 or 11 takeaways. And this is led by the cornerback, just to keep your eye on for Villanova. Christian Benford has 4 picks in 3 games. So this is their NFL hopeful. So it's just a question, this could be a small school guy who ends up going to the league and being a playmaker, which helps in a game where you're trying to spoil. But I think the stakes are. I think it's it's David and Goliath, and I think Penn State's just too good. But but credit to Villanova. I think this is a good football team, and this will help them moving forward, having the experience against this. But I think Penn State does carry away with this one.
Yeah, they're coming off that huge Auburn win. Obviously, an emotional game for them, a big win. They're moving to that conference play schedule next week. I think Villanova can hang around there, Raphael. I'm with you. Obviously, they're not going to win this thing. There's no way they can win this thing, I don't think. But I like them with the points. Let's go ahead and talk about 2 more undefeated teams. Michigan Wolverines, Rutgers Scarlet Knights, over-under set at 50 points. Michigan, minus 20.5 favorite. No respect for the Jersey boys.
And there's a good reason why. I think I said it to you guys last week. I think this Michigan team is for real. I mean, Jim Harbaugh been quiet. His khaki pants have not been all pressed, so they kind of maybe unironed and stuff. I just think he's a totally different coach, and his whole coaching staff is totally how they're approaching games. I just like this Michigan team this year. They're scoring. Their defense is always going to be there. I think we're going to see another lopsided game. I think Michigan's just going to want to just continue to put up lopsided numbers to tell people, hey, we're not just winning games. We can't wait to play Ohio State, which I think Ohio State is not the same Ohio State this year. Mm-hmm. I think this is when he wins the Big Ten and he finally gets the monkey off his back and beats Ohio State. Give me Michigan.
Everyone's sleeping on Rutgers. So what's interesting is both of these teams, both Rutgers and Michigan, have only allowed 34 points in 3 games. So you can do the math. That's 11.33333 repeatedly. There's your math for the day. But so Rutgers has a great defense, as does Michigan. Everyone knows Michigan does. But Rutgers also put up 61 against Temple, 45 against Delaware, and they beat Syracuse, which was big for them. So I think definitely take the points here. That I think it's going to be a closer game. I want to call this one too. I want to call this upset. It's at Michigan, which is just hard. And I'm looking at, because I got to have an upset pick here. I'm going to take Rutgers. I'm going to take them. I'm going to make this my upset pick. And just because I know it's going to be a good game. It's kind of like how I felt about Florida-Bama last week, is they were snubbing Florida. I can't remember how many points it was. And Raphael, I was trying to tell you that was going to be a game. And you were like, no, Florida's not good. And just needed, it was like a 2-point conversion away from being a game. So, yeah.
Keep an eye out on this game. The last 2 games these 2 teams play at the Big House, Michigan has outscored them 94-7. So it's not like Rutgers has had success at the Big House. I know those 2 Rutgers teams were really, really bad teams and probably didn't come in undefeated, but I just like the way Michigan has been playing. So I think it's going to be a low-scoring game. I'm actually shocked that this total did not move to like 49. I don't see that much scoring, just because of the way both teams are going to want to play defense.
Yeah, I shouldn't call this. I shouldn't call Rutgers, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to call my shot. Call my shot like the babe. Just saying. Got it.
Stepping up to the plate.
Yeah.
Well, Oklahoma was about to get made, and West Virginia shot him in the face. We're talking Jersey here. Jim Harbaugh. Welcome to the family. He's got a job. He's made. Michigan gets the win here. Sorry, Jersey. I do think it's closer than 20.5 points, though. I really do. I think this is a different Rutgers team than what we're used to. They're gutsy. They're getting after it. And what's their motto? Chop it down. I think they're chopping down as best they can. Just they're getting outmatched by Michigan in the fourth quarter. This is a huge game. College game days there. This is the Shamrock Series game for Notre Dame. It's being played in Soldier Field up in Chicago. Over-under set at 45 points. Wisconsin is a 6.5-point favorite.
First of all, why is this game so early? I don't understand why this game is so early. This game should be like maybe a 5 or 6 o'clock game after the Ryder Cup is over, because not that many people in Wisconsin are going to be probably at home because they're all at the Ryder Cup watching this. So I'm totally blown away with the time schedule. Here's another one that I know time slots are good for TV ratings and stuff like that, but really there's some horrible games on this afternoon that can easily put on an afternoon or evening game. I think this number is way too high. I know Notre Dame's defense has not played as well as we've seen, but really Wisconsin's offense has not been lights out either. I thought this number would have been like around 3 or 4, but 6.5. Give me touchdown Jesus to cover this one. I like Notre Dame plus the points.
I do like Wisconsin. It is interesting that Wisconsin's number 18, Notre Dame's 12, and Wisconsin's the favorite here by almost a touchdown, or a touchdown and a half there. I'm gonna take Wisconsin. I think they are better. I think Notre Dame's defense is honestly that's been their staple for years, is their defense. But offense just doesn't have quite enough that I do think the Badgers at home give them a lot of problems.
Yeah, Notre Dame hasn't done themselves any favors, having close games against some teams that they should have been blown out by the first half. But Jack Cohen, Notre Dame starting quarterback, was at Wisconsin last year, led them to a Rose Bowl. It's a little return matchup for him. Shamrock Series. Notre Dame has been undefeated. The series started in 2009. They're undefeated in the Shamrock Series. For that reason, give me the Irish. They get the job done here.
I'm more curious of who's going to dominate the fans. I mean, Notre Dame is really close to Chicago, and Wisconsin's no a long drive either. I'm dying to see what color the fans are going to be. Are they going to be green, or is it going to be a bunch of red out there? That's what I was going to do. I wanted to try to do a prop bet with who's going to have more fans attend this game, but I just couldn't figure out how I would be able to grade that ticket. But I'm going to be very curious to see who's going to have the home crowd advantage on this game.
Yeah, I am too. Maybe green shirts compared to red shirts in the stadium. I don't know. I'm with you. I think it's going to be split, probably close to 50-50. I didn't even think about the fans packing Soldier Field.
About time Soldier Field gets a good football game for the
Bears. Hey, Fields is starting.
Oh, yeah, he is.
Franchise quarterback.
Big deal. He's going to probably struggle like all the other rookie quarterbacks. Yeah, he looked good in preseason versus third and fourth stringers and guys that were trying to deliver pizzas afterwards before they were late. I'm not sold on Justin Fields. Name me Ohio State quarterback that dominated the NFL.
It's irrelevant. It doesn't matter because Fields is for real. And this comes from a Packers fan. I think Fields is.
I'm not sold yet. I need a full season of a Bears quarterback to do good. Because last time I saw one, he wore a headband. If Jim McMahon played right now, I wonder how much it would cost to save my bookie on his headband.
Yeah, for real.
Hey,
Zach Wilson.
Oh yeah,
slap that one in.
Yeah,
well, he's Mormon. He ain't gonna put a my bookie gambling on his headband.
Touche. Damn. So here we go. We got Georgia, Vandy. Georgia 35-point favorite. Over-unders at 53. Fitz, you're shaking your head.
Just college football, man. I mean, this is just this is my whole take on why NFL is better than college. You got all these games. It's like, oh, 35 points. Oh, 23. It's like, show me an NFL game where there's a point like that. It's just
well, the NFL doesn't have 200 teams too. If they had more teams, they would probably have a bigger spreads like we see in college basketball. But I agree. This is why I hate the SEC. They're not the creme of the creme. Because like I say, if you throw out Alabama, my phrase is, if you get rid of Alabama and SEC, they're the Sun Belt. So I mean, this right here proves to you where Vanderbilt is a plus 35 against Georgia. If you're going to watch this fan, that means you're only a Georgia fan. Because Vanderbilt's not going to watch. Fans are not going to watch this game. Why would you watch this game? Put on UFC, put on boxing on this one. There's some the Pennsylvania Derbies going on and horse racing. The Yankees, Red Sox will be playing this game. Save your money and just look at the box score after this game is done.
Yeah, I'm taking Georgia, and I'm not touching points. I'm just taking Georgia.
Yeah, I think Georgia just dominates them. I might, prop bet out there, shut out for Vandy. I don't know if Vandy scores on Georgia's defense.
This game stays under 53. This one stays under the 53.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. Man, yeah, Vanderbilt, Kentucky, Missouri, just the bottom feeders SEC. They just can't wait for basketball season, I'm sure. Let's stay with SEC. Gators, Tennessee, Florida minus 18.5 favorite. The reason I put this on here, did they blow their wad against Alabama?
It's a tough one. I mean, if Tennessee was able to be consistent on the running, then I would say that I would take the plus points on this one. I'm going to take the under. I think this total is way too high, 63.5. I mean, Florida's defense played really well in the second half against Alabama. And I'm sorry, Alabama's speed on offense is not equal to Tennessee's speed on offense. So I think they're going to have a nice advantage on that one. I have no opinion on this one. I do agree maybe Florida might have shot their wad out against Alabama, but way too many points, but I think it's just way high. Give me the under 63.5. I just don't see a high-scoring game on this one.
So, okay, I got to ask. I do not – this is where I just have beef with college football. I don't understand college football. So, the Gators were 11 coming into the game against number 1 Alabama. It goes to the wire. They lose by 2. Great game. They don't move up or down in the rankings. They're still number 11. And I'm sitting here going – Clemson's number 9. If Clemson played against Alabama, they would get destroyed. Clemson would get wrecked by Alabama. I'm certain of it. And I'm sitting here like, what do these rankings mean? Florida proved everyone was sleeping on Florida. They're the 11, but Bama's going to kill them. And they play better than we expect. But we don't give them they can't move up because they didn't win. It doesn't make sense to me. It's just they obviously did better than we had them last week. So they should probably move up, but I don't know. It's just beef. It's all beauty contest and I hate it, but I'm taking Florida.
Well, that's why I don't look at ratings. You're the guys that we used to love in the sports books where they would walk up to the counter and they have the USA Today newspaper and they're making their bets on what the rankings look like. And we're just drooling at the mouth and giving each other high fives in the back because we have a sucker at the window. Rankings mean nothing. I mean, I used to tell people rankings in college sports mean nothing. Remember back in the day when Davidson and Gonzaga before they were known, would wreck people's polls in college basketball. I hate ratings. I think they're useless. I don't know why.
The thing is,
coaching polls.
Yeah, you're spot on. But here's the problem I have is the rankings do matter at the end of the season. it means everything in college football. If you're not, how many we debate, Washington should have gotten the playoffs, or like Oklahoma should have been in. It's like, this is the whole name of the game with college football. And it's all about like, like we almost beat Bama. So this adds to our resume. I don't know. It's so nitpicky for me. And it does matter. Like, what you're saying is it doesn't matter, which I agree with. But then, like, at the end of the season, it's everything. And it's like, it's maddening. It's like, what are we actually watching? So I don't know. This is just Fitz rant on a Saturday. I get worked up every week. I was telling Hackey this earlier.
I just love how all these conferences are merging and all that. And boy, did that college football playoff expansion get wiped underneath the water really quick. That was a couple months ago. We're like, add 12, 16, add 3 more months into college football. And then all of a sudden, Oklahoma, Texas, we're leaving, in Big 12. We're adding these 3 teams. We ain't going to see an expansion for probably a couple years.
Yeah, which is the unfortunate part, because they need it. They definitely need it. To kind of help Fitz's rant there. Fitz, yeah, I'm not going to touch it. I'll let you have your soapbox for a day.
Thank you.
Give me the Gators. I'm going to chomp on them, baby. Sorry, Vols. I like Tennessee football. I always want them to do well, but damn, they're bad. They're bad. Staying with SEC here, Mississippi State, LSU. LSU is a 2.5-point favorite. Over-under set 57. LSU is not the LSU team we're used to. Mississippi State, though, question mark for me.
I agree. I'm not sold on LSU. Their defense was supposed to be their backbone this year, and it has not been. Their offense is always going to have question marks, especially if they can't run the ball. I'm all about cowbells on this one. I like Mississippi State. I think, you know me, I've been telling people Ed Orgeron is out this year. So I see them losing not 1 or 2 key games in conference play, and he's going to be looking for a job, wishing that he stayed at SC.
Yeah, I think for Devin, don't doubt Coach O. I'm going to take LSU in this one.
Go Tigers. I said this last week. I said, Belichick, if he loses to the Jets, he's on the hot seat. And he won. Coach O, if you lose to Mississippi State today, you're done. You're dead. You're fired. Get the nunchucks out to the dome. Whatever it is, over. He's got to win. He's got to save his job here. But I'm taking Mississippi State. I think Coach O's gone. Final game here. Stanford Cards, UCLA Bruins. UCLA coming off Fresno State's ass kicking they gave them. Over-under set 58.5 points. UCLA is a 4.5-point favorite.
I'm actually shocked at how, everyone wants to say UCLA lost to Fresno State, but that's probably at the end of the season, it's not going to be a bad loss. I think Fresno State runs away at the Mountain West and probably get some talk about their undefeated. Why aren't they? Will have a party to the Final Four. UCLA ran away from the running game in the second half against Fresno State. I think that's what probably hurt them and kept the game against them. If they can run the ball and not escape it, I think this game was going to be UCLA. I think they bounce back and win this one, but I think this total, it's now moved to 59. There's some 59.5. So I think this total goes over. The last 4 meetings, all 4 of them have gone over. Whoever has won this game has scored 46 or more points in their last 4 meetings. I think we're going to see a lot of points scored in this one. I like the over, but I think UCLA bounces back.
Yeah, I agree with Raphael. I don't think Fresno State's getting as much love as they probably deserve. This was a barn burner of a game, 40-37, 77 points scored between UCLA and Fresno. So I think Fresno, I'd like to see them go undefeated, and that probably helps UCLA. I agree. I think UCLA is a good team, so don't sleep on them. I'd hammer on UCLA. I'd take them with everything here.
Now, did you watch any of that game? Because I know your East Coast time, and this game ended UCLA Fresno State at 1:43 in the morning East Coast time last week. Were you up watching this game?
I saw highlights. I did not stay up for that one.
Yeah, nor do I think we were coherent enough to even comprehend watching the game last weekend.
That is also true.
You know what? Yeah. Stanford's coming off. They beat USC earlier, but I think USC was a huge pretender. And I don't think that win's going to really help them out here. Give me the Bruins. Bounce back. Chip Kelly, turn that visor upside down, backwards, whatever you have to do. Let's go get this dub tonight. But yeah, give me the over too. I think both teams know how to score. Both are really explosive offenses. So I'm taking the over with it as well. And hey, that's going to do it for the show. Raphael, thank you so much for hopping on with us, man. We greatly appreciate it. Next Saturday, hopefully we get you back on and we can keep going on with this thing because we enjoy talking to you.
Yeah, anytime, guys. It's always fun to guys do your guys' show. Hopefully, someone will have a better attitude about college football next Saturday. I don't want to mention any names. Hopefully, we'll have some W's today, and hopefully, for us as an odds maker and guy that does stuff for my bookie, hope the football bettors have another horrible weekend. But we have some free cash to give away. Hey, and if you have an account over at my bookie, we're doing a fantastic first bleed. An event at UFC. It's guaranteed $25. If any fighter bleeds in this one, you will guarantee you a free $25. So it's open up your account. It's probably the first thing that pops up into your browser on that one. Don't forget to grab that free $25 because someone's going to bleed tonight. I can guarantee you the co-main event, Valentina, is going to make Rachel bleed quickly and often on that one, on that fight.
Hey, I love it. Free money, man. I don't know how you guys get away with it. Just giving away it.
It's not my money.
Hey, perfect. Raphael, thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll catch you guys next Saturday and Tuesday for our regular show.